thought. All the other stuff is okay, the main good thing about church, but the Herdmans aren't ever there.
It's not a very Christian sentiment, it seems to me.
It's a very practical sentiment. Charlie was black and blue all last year because he had to sit next to Leroy Herdman in school.
Leroy? Is he the worst one?
They're all the worst. But if Ralph gets killed, well, that doesn't make any difference. Gladys isn't big, but she's fast, and she's mean, and she bites.
I'm sorry I asked. Just stay away from them all.
That's what I said. Stay away from them. Go to church.
I'm glad to hear you feel that way.
Why?
No arguments this year about the Christmas pageant.
I don't want to be a shepherd again.
Well, tell Mrs. Armstrong you want to be a wise man.
I don't want to be in it.
Everybody's in it. Think how I'd feel sitting there on Christmas Eve if my own children weren't in the pageant. Think how your father would feel. You'd feel terrible, wouldn't you, Bob?
Well, actually, I didn't plan to go. You know how crowded it always is. They can use my seat. I'll just stay at home in my bathrobe, relax. There's anything different about the Christmas pageant.
There's going to be something different this year.
What?
Charlie's going to wear your bathrobe.
You just got no Grace.
Why don't you be Joseph? Elmer Hopkins will pay you $1 to be Joseph. Nobody wants to be Joseph. Nobody wants to be in it.
What are you going to do?
I'm always in the angel choir.
Why can't Charlie be in the angel choir?
Because I can't sing.
From what I've heard in the past, that's not a serious drawback. Away in the manger always sounds like a closet full of mice to me.
What do you wear in the angel choir? Bed sheets. Oh boy, some choice. Bathrobe or bed sheets? Come on, let's go watch TV.
No, Mrs. Armstrong works very hard to give everyone a lovely experience.
Oh, Mom. Mrs. Armstrong just likes to run things.
They're right, of course. She directs the pageant, she runs the potluck supper, she's chairman of the bazaar. I think Helen Armstrong would preach the sermon from the letter.
Is that George Armstrong's wife?
Yes.
I saw George in the drugstore. He said his wife broke her leg in this traction for 2 weeks, laid up to the first of the year.
The first of the year, why they'll have to cancel Christmas.
She's in charge of Christmas?
Well, she's in charge of the pageant, she's in charge of the bazaar. I feel sorry for Helen, but who's going to do all those things?
Yes, I'll take over the bazaar, Edna, if you'll do the potluck supper. I don't know what in the world we're going to do about the pageant. Unless, how about Grace?
I just can't. I've got Christmas company all week. How about Grace?
Hello? Grace?
Bob,
What?
I have to direct the Christmas pageant.
Does that mean I have to go?
Our Christmas pageant isn't what you'd call four-star entertainment. Mrs. Armstrong breaking her leg was the only unexpected thing that ever happened to it. It's always the same old Christmas story, the same old carols, and the same old Mary and Joseph. And that was what my mother was stuck with. That and Mrs. Armstrong.
Tell you again, Grace, how important it is to give everyone a chance. Here's what I do. I always start with Mary, and I tell them we must choose our Mary carefully because Mary was the mother of Jesus.
I know that, Helen.
Yes, and then I tell them about Joseph and that he was God's choice to be Jesus' father. That's how I explain that.
I thought Miss Armstrong was in traction. How could she talk on the phone if she's in traction? What do you think traction is? Like when they put you to sleep?
No such luck. Beth, we need salt, pepper, and napkins.
And I tell them there are no small parts, only small actors.
We'll save some for the rest of us, won't you, Charlie?
I'm hungry. Leroy Herdman stole my lunch again.
How can we let him do that to you, day after day?
How can I stop him? Where's the chicken?
Grace, where's the chicken?
It's still in the oven.
I'll get it.
You'll have to get someone to push the baby angels on. Otherwise, they'll get in each other's way and get their wings. Bob could do that, and he could keep an eye on the shepherds, too. Oh, another thing about the angel choir.
Helen, there's someone at my door. I have to go.
They think because it's a play that they can wear lipstick, and it looks awful.
Someone at my door, Helen. I'll talk to you later. Yes, I'm coming.
Lady, can you give me some supper? I haven't had a square meal in 3 days.
Oh, for heaven's sakes, it's you.
I was very lonely at the table.
Well, I guess Helen was lonely at the hospital.
Not as long as the telephones are working.
I bet she told you about no small parts, only small actors. And getting someone to shut the baby angels off to make the shepherds shut up.
Yes, she suggested your father.
Does that mean I have to go?
Hey, how's it going? Okay, Charlie, you leave it. Oh, it does.
Now this won't take very long if you all settle down. Now, today we're going to decide who will play the main roles in our Christmas pageant. But of course, everyone will have an important part to play. You know what Mrs. Armstrong always tells you. There are no small parts, only small actors. Isn't that what Mrs. Armstrong always says?
That's what she always says, but she never says what it means.
Well, don't you know what it means?
I know what it means. It means the short kids have to sit in the front row of the angel choir, or else nobody can see them.
Well, not exactly. It really means that the littlest baby angel is just as important as Mary.
I don't think anyone is as important as Mary. Naturally, that's what you think, Alice. I think Jesus is more important.
I still think it means the short kids have to be in the front row.
Girls, everyone is important. Mary, Jesus, and the short kids. Now, is everyone here? Beverly, can you step out in the hall and make sure no one else is coming? Now, the little children will be our angels, so they'll have to remind their mothers that they'll need bed sheets. People in the angel choir will need bed sheets too. And if any of you have old bathrobes at home. Now, what's the matter? Well, let's make some room there for the Herdmans. Now, what happened to Beverly?
I think she got home. I think she got sick.
Did she say she was sick?
No, she just left. All I did was I just said, "Hi, Beverly," and she just left.
Will someone please tell Beverly about the rehearsals the next 4 Wednesdays after school? We plan to be here for everyone.
But what if we get sick?
We won't get sick. Of course, Mary and Joseph must absolutely come to every rehearsal.
But what if they get sick?
They won't get sick either, Elmer.
But Beverly got sick and we haven't even started
We
yet.
don't know that Beverly got sick. I want you to think about Mary. We all know what kind of person Mary was. She was quiet and kind and gentle, and the girl who plays Mary should try to be that kind of person. Now, who would like to volunteer for that part? Yes, Imogen, do you have a question?
Yeah, I want to be Mary. And Ralph, he wants to be Joseph.
Yeah, right.
Oh, well, we'll just make a list of the volunteers, and then we'll all decide who it should be. Ralph Herdman. Now, who else would like to be Joseph? Elmer, did you raise your hand?
No.
Please, any volunteers? Just raise your hands. Any of you shepherds? Well, Ralph Herdman will be our Joseph. Now, Imogen has volunteered to be Mary. I'll just write that down. Are there any other names I can put on the list? Maxine? Beth? Alice, don't you want to volunteer?
No, I don't want to.
I'll be married. Shut up, Gladys. I'm already married. You be a wise man.
Well, the wise men are usually boys. Of course, they don't have to be.
Oh, you're a wise man?
Yeah.
Me too.
And, Clyde, you want to be a wise man? Raise your hand.
What's wise man?
What's left to be?
Some angel.
I'll be that. What is it?
It's the angel of the Lord that brought the good news to the shepherds. There! We do have some volunteers after all. Yes, Hobie, would you like to be a wise man?
I just wanted to say I can't be a shepherd. We're going to Philadelphia this weekend.
Well, why didn't you say so before?
I just remembered.
My mom doesn't want me to be a shepherd.
Well, why not?
I don't know. She just said, "Don't be a shepherd."
I'm not going to be a shepherd.
Oh, yes, you are. Now, what's the matter with all of you?
I don't want to be a shepherd. Gladys Herdman hits too hard.
Elmer, Gladys isn't going to hit anyone. The angel of the Lord just brings the good news to the shepherds that Jesus is born.
Hits them.
Elmer, that's ridiculous. I don't want to hear another word about it from anyone. No shepherds may quit or get sick. Now, that's all for don't you want to be Mary?
Mrs. Bradley!
Well, if I'd been up and around, this never would have happened. Well, let me tell you.
Don't tell me. I'm on your side, and the car's over there.
Helen Armstrong is not the only woman alive who could direct the Christmas pageant. I made up my mind to do the best I could under the circumstances, and I decided I'm going to make this the best Christmas pageant ever. And I'm going to do it with the Herdmans. After all, they raised their hands and no one else did.
Good for you, Grace, but the car's over there.
And you're going to help me.
Does that mean...
You have to go.
Hey, but the car...
Everyone, let's settle down, please. Now the inn will be back here off stage, and then the shepherds all come.
Where'd all the shepherds come from anyway?
And what's an inn? It's like a motel where people go to spend the night. What people? Jesus?
Oh, honestly, Jesus wasn't even born yet. Mary and Joseph were there.
Why?
To pay their taxes.
At a motel?
Shut up, Ollie. Everybody shut up. I want to hear her. Begin at the beginning.
The beginning.
Yeah, the beginning of the story. What happens first?
Imogen, this is the Christmas story from the Bible. Haven't you ever heard the Christmas story? Well, that's what this Christmas pageant is, so I guess I'd better read it to you.
I don't believe that. Do you? Have they never heard of the Christmas story?
Why not? They don't even know what a Bible is, and they've never set foot in church their whole life. Until your dumb brother told them we got refreshments. Now we have to waste all this time learning about Christmas.
All right now. And there went out a decree from Caesar Augustus that all the world should be taxed. And Joseph went out with Mary his wife, being great with child.
Pregnant. She was pregnant?
All right now, we all know that Mary was pregnant.
I don't think it's very nice to say that Mary was pregnant.
Well, she was.
Well, I don't think your mother should say that Mary was pregnant. It's better to say great with child. I'm not allowed to talk about people being pregnant, especially not in church.
And she brought forth her firstborn son and wrapped him in swaddling clothes and laid him in a manger because there was no room for them in the inn.
They didn't have room for Jesus?
Well, nobody knew the baby was going to be Jesus.
Well, didn't Mary know? Didn't he know? What was wrong with Joseph? They didn't tell them. Her pregnant and everything.
What's a manger? Is it like some kind of bed?
Well, there was no bed in the barn, so Mary had to use whatever there was. What would you do if you had no bed? If you had no baby and no bed to put it in?
Well, we put Gladys in a bureau drawer.
Well, there you are. You didn't have a bed for Gladys, so you had to use something else.
No, we had a bed. Only Ollie was still in it, and he didn't like Gladys. Remember how you didn't like Gladys?
It's pretty smart, Ollie. Not to let Gladys run up on the back.
Anyway, a manger is a large feeding trough for animals.
What were the watered up clothes?
The what?
It said in there, she wrapped him in watered up clothes.
Swaddling clothes. People used to wrap babies in big pieces of material to make them feel cozy.
You mean they tied him up and put him in a feed box? Where was the child welfare?
The child welfare is at our house every 5 minutes. There wasn't any child welfare in Bethlehem.
Well, I'll say there wasn't.
And there were shepherds watching over their flocks by night. And lo, the angel of the Lord came upon them, and the glory of...
Shazam!
What?
Out of the black night, with horrible vengeance, the mighty marvel!
Gladys, I don't know what you're talking about.
Mighty marvel, like an amazing comic. Out of the black night, with horrible vengeance!
Gladys, this is the angel of the Lord that brought the good news to the shepherds.
In the black night, right? Out of nowhere, right?
Well, in a way.
Shazam!
Now when Jesus was born, there came wise men from the east, bearing gifts of gold and frankincense
What's that?
and myrrh.
What's that?
They were special things, spices and precious oils.
Oil? What kind of present is oil? We get better presents from the welfare.
Were they the welfare? The wise men?
They were kings and they were sent.
Well, it's about time somebody important showed up. They can get the baby out of the barn and tell the innkeeper where to get off.
They were sent by Herod, who was, well, he was the main king, and they wanted them to find Jesus and have him put to death.
He just got born. They're gonna kill a baby?
Who's Herod in this play?
Herod is
He's out to kill the baby.
And he isn't even in the play?
Well, somebody better be Herod. Let Charlie be Herod. And he says, go give me that baby. And they say, okay, because he's the king and all.
But then they don't do it. Then they go back and get Herod.
I'm not gonna be Harry!
no one's going to be Herod.
Wait, Joseph gets the shepherds together and they go wipe out Herod. Bang!
It's going to be me. I'll get killed. Forget about Herod. There's no Herod.
And then I run away with the baby until the fight's over.
Somebody ought to fix the innkeeper. Gladys, you go wipe out the innkeeper.
I can't. I'm an angel.
Well, I wouldn't have just stayed in the barn. I would go get a room.
But she said there wasn't one.
Well, then I kick somebody out. I say I get this baby, and it's the middle of winter, so either get out or move over.
I grew up with Herod.
Hey, I just sent the angel out. She could just point her electric finger at him and turn him into a pile of ashes.
Yeah, exactly.
What's the name of this play? She never said. Christmas pageant.
That's no name, that's what it is. I know name. I put revenge at Bethlehem.
Beth, can you and Alice please go to the angel choir so we can start? Now, this is our last rehearsal, so we're gonna...
Grace, I just wanted to tell you, we're all back in the kitchen making applesauce cake. We'll try not to bother you. I guess it's your dress rehearsal.
It's supposed to be. Oh, and didn't I hear that your niece had a baby a month or so ago? A little girl?
Yes, she's 5 weeks old. And
Well, I wonder how it would be if I were to call your niece and ask if we could borrow
Grace, no, I could make up some lie and tell that the baby's sick or cranky or something like that. But the truth is, she's perfectly healthy and happy and beautiful, and we want her to stay that way. So we're certainly not going to hand her over to Imogene Herdman. Sorry, Grace.
Mrs. Bradley, you could have my little brother. He's not new. He's 4 years old, but he's double jointed. We could probably make him sponge out.
I'll get us a baby.
How can you do that?
There's always 2 or 3 in the carriages down at the supermarket. I'll just get one of those.
You can't just walk off with somebody's baby. Never mind about a baby. We'll just use a doll.
Yeah, doll's better. Doll can't bite you.
And Imogene, you know Mary didn't wear earrings.
Well, I have to wear these. I got my ears pierced, and if I don't keep something, then they'll go together.
Well, they won't grow together in an hour and a half. What did the doctor tell you to do?
What doctor?
Well, you pierced your ears.
Gladys.
I bet she did it with an ice pick. I bet Imogene's ears will turn black and fall off.
Well, we'll find a Now, is that what you're going to wear? Is that your costume? You're all supposed to have your costumes on today.
I can't find my halo. My halo got all bent.
Janet's got my robe.
My mom doesn't have any white sheets. Can I use a sheet with balloons on it?
I haven't got a costume. I was never a shepherd before.
You have to wear your father's bathrobe. At least that's what I have to do.
He doesn't have a bathrobe.
Well, what does he wear around the house? Underwear.
Pretend you have your costume.
Are we going through the whole thing?
Yes, of course. But first we're going to practice just the entrances, so you all go where you're supposed to be. And we'll start with the shepherds. Just read the last few words, Maxine. Shepherds.
You didn't Joseph make a lovely picture for us to look at while we think about Christmas!
Now put the doll back.
I don't get to say anything. And some angel tells me what to name the baby. I didn't name him Bill.
Oh, what a terrible thing to say!
What angel was that? Was it Gladys?
No, Gladys brought the good news to the shepherds.
Yeah! Until a child is born.
To me, not them. I'm the one about the baby.
No. That just means that Jesus belongs to everybody.
And why didn't they let Mary name her own baby? What did that angel do? Just walk up to Mary and say, name him Jesus?
Yes.
I know what the angel said. She said, "In his name shall be called Wonderful, Counselor, mighty God, everlasting Father, Prince of Peace.
Well, he never would have got through the first grade if he had read all that.
Mrs. Bradley, what's the time? Should I start over?
5 minutes, Maxine. 5 minutes.
Those 5 minutes turned into 15 minutes, and Imogen Herman spent the whole time smoking cigars in the ladies' room. And when Mrs. McCarthy went into the ladies' room and saw all the smoke, she called the fire department, and they came right away.
Fire! There's a fire!
Everybody out and dragged the fire hose through the church looking for a fire to put out. But the only fire that was in the church was in the kitchen. All the applesauce cake had burned up. Of course, all the ladies were mad about that. And Mrs. McCarthy was mad. And my mother was mad.
Why in the world did you call the fire department about a little smoke?
It was a lot of smoke. The ladies' room was filled with thick smoke.
It couldn't have been. You just got excited. And now look. The church is full of firemen, and the street is full of baby angels crying, and shepherds crawling all over the fire truck, and half the neighborhood. Didn't you know it was cigar smoke?
No, I didn't know it was cigar smoke. I didn't expect to find cigar smoke in the ladies' room of the church.
Alice Wendelkin's mother was mad too. And the whole Ladies' Aid Society. And Reverend Hawkins said he didn't know what to think.
I've been on the telephone all day, and I just cannot make heads or tails of it. Some people say they set fire to the kitchen. Some people say they set fire to the ladies' room. Vera Wendelkin says they all do is talk about sex and underwear.
That was Hobie Clark talking about underwear. And they didn't set fire to anything. The only fire was in the kitchen where the applesauce cake burned up.
The whole church is enough for her. I don't know. Jesus said, suffer the little children to come unto me, but I don't think he meant the hurt. Don't you think we should cancel the pageants?
I'll bet that was Helen Armstrong's idea.
The whole church, the pageant seems to be a
Disaster? Well, they're wrong. It's going to be the best Christmas pageant we've ever had.
But Grace, I don't think anyone will come.
I didn't think so either, and neither did Charlie. But we were wrong. On Christmas Eve, the church was jammed full. Everybody came to see what the Herdmans were doing.
Wait until I turn the lights on.
Can't even see where I'm going. What in the world do you expect me to do with this thing?
Well, I thought it might look like a palm tree. See, now that it doesn't. Oh, I don't have any idea what's going to happen tonight. We've never once gone through the whole thing, and the Herdmans still think it's some kind of spy story. Where are the kids?
All the kids in the world are downstairs in the basement putting on bed sheets.
Our kids. We're here. It's getting late. Really late.
It's just going to be awful, you know. They look like trick-or-treat, all fastened together by safety pins with their moldy sneakers. Mary and Joseph, I mean, they look like refugees or something.
That's what they were. They were refugees. They were a long way from home. They didn't know anybody. They didn't have any place to stay. They're probably cold, tired, hungry, and messy.
I don't know about cold and hungry, but they sure are messy.
Oh dear, do you think I should?
I think you worry too much. Now, I need to push the baby angels on stage and hand out the crooks to the shepherds. When do I do all of that?
Just follow your script.
Baby angels, wise men, shepherds. It doesn't seem to say here where the fire engines come in.
Oh!
Just kidding.
Now, can everyone come on stage, please? I just want to see how you look. tell them, unto you a child is born, and that's all you tell them. Now, let's all go backstage and try to be quiet, and good luck.
Miss Bradley, actors don't say good luck. They say break a leg.
Yes, I know that, Alex. For those of you who don't know, it's just a theatrical saying. It doesn't really mean break a leg, your own or anyone else's. Now, let's all go backstage and be quiet while people are coming.
I guess that's about it. Any kids left downstairs?
No, everyone's gone. You know, you have your bathrobe on. You're not going to wear it, are you?
Why not? Maybe people will think I was a shepherd. I wouldn't mind being taken as a shepherd in this Christmas pageant.
Yes, you would. When it was over, some lady came up and hugged me because I was a shepherd. Should I bring this ham?
It's the Herman's ham from their welfare basket. They wouldn't take it back. Leroy said, it's a present. You don't take back a present.
Leroy said that? They must hate ham. You and Alice Wendell did.
What about the lights?
They're on timer. They go off at midnight.
That's not far away. It's almost Christmas.
Almost Christmas, kids.
Almost Christmas, Charlie.